藤岡先輩、大病院の一人息子で頭も良くて、かっこいいし人望あるし、卒業するまで生徒会長続けてたし、理想の男の人って感じ。確かゆかりちゃんと付き合ってたよね。でも先輩の卒業とともに別れたみたい。
そうなんだ。
Watari-kun is about to collapse. This was episode number 5. Got 5 on it. I am glad to report this was a much better episode than last episode, I thought. Although last episode was beach episode, Feast for the Eyes. In substance, wasn't that good. This episode is much better, though. One thing that I think is interesting and super intentional, too, by the way, is I think there's a lot of intentionality, at least I hope, in the author to make us hate Satsuki. At the end of the episode, I'm going to talk about the 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐻 stuff, but at the end of the episode, you know, Satsuki, once again, nonchalantly, by the way, and there is a portion of me that does like it, she nonchalantly kisses Watari again, or Naoto, whatever you want to call him. Let's just call him Naoto. She kisses Naoto again on the lips, and is very intentional, and she's intentional about her feelings, and, you know, there's an air of mystery there. She's like, just like 6 years ago, you're leading me on, blah, 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 blah. Although her trauma is probably something parent related or something like that. Regardless of it, is she did in fact make her feelings known by kissing him once again. Now, what I don't like though, and I think this is where the intentionality of making us hate her, at least me, is I don't like how she's kind of forcing the relationship between Naoto and herself. I think there's definitely something there if Naoto were to make a move, but I kind of feel like the way she's coming at him doesn't necessarily even feel sincere, you know. And I don't think there's anything wrong if, you know, they have a moment and she decides to kiss him first and make a move first. I think in a lot of times that is a really good quality to have. It's nice to see the script flip when the girl's the one that make the first move. But I just feel like there's something vicious, something like her kissing him the first time and the second time doesn't feel romantic. It just feels off in a way. It feels very manipulative. And I hope that that's intentional. And I think it is intentional. And what that does to Naoto as a character, as it would any impressionable young boy, is even if he did like 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐻 or any other girl or whatever, you know, he's kind of at that age to where he's, you know, 16-ish, whatever. He's impressionable. So something might get rewired up here going like, well, I do like 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐻, but this girl over here, you know, he doesn't not like her. He cares for her. He just maybe doesn't think about her in a romantic sense. But that door could be swung open if she keeps kind of forcing herself through it, if that makes sense. Regardless, there's just something there that just makes me just not like her very much. And I think and I hope that it's intentional, and I think it is. Now, for the rest of the episode, it was all focused around 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐻, and I like it. You know, I think discovering kind of her faults and discovering kind of like what happened to her before is super interesting. I like it quite a bit. You know, basically her story, you know, her thing was she was forced into a relationship in a way with this senpai that she admired. And he asked her out and she declined. And he kind of gaslit. And again, in that very, I'm going to use that word manipulative again, kind of like with Satsuki. He kind of manipulated his way into like forcing her into a relationship, even though they never did anything or anything. They were just, they made it seem that way. And because 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐻 didn't quite have the confidence to dispel those rumors with people who were saying it, whatever else, it still persisted to this day. He just kind of like manipulated her into this relationship. And then he tried to do it again, you know, a year or two removed from that, now. And thankfully, with the confidence that she had with Watari and, you know, sharing that with him and him being there and be like, hey, like this, like you're a punk, you know, I would have liked to see him defend her when 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐵𝐵 got grabbed. I was like, he should have slapped the shit out of him. I was like, don't be a punk bitch, you know what I mean? The fact that Satsuki had to come save him, I didn't quite love. I can't imagine, like, yo, if someone were to grab my wife, prior girlfriend, daughter, like, you grab, like, yo, I'm reacting. I'm just gonna say that. I'm reacting immediately. I'm just like, I have reacted immediately. I've had moments. That's just a natural, like, you should have bitch slapped him. Like, how dare you? For sure. You bitch slap first. Always. Hurts more. But the fact that Satsuki had to come save him, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But regardless, you know, she got the confidence to dispel it and stuff. And I like that her story was very unique. And I thought it was very interesting as well, too. And I like how it was centered around this weirdo dude. And I'm glad she kind of put him into his place and gained the confidence to not only like, okay, if I have to do that again, I will. But then she also gained the confidence to tell Satsuki to her face, like, I'm going to compete for Watari with you. I'll get him, you know? And then that's kind of what led Satsuki into reacting how she ended up reacting, which makes sense, but she pushed the envelope way too much. Overall, though, I will say, I think this episode of Watari-kun was better. I think it's more interesting when they focus less on this thriller, mystery, murderous thing that they have with Satsuki, because the reality is there's probably not much really there. So yeah, overall, I like the episode, though. I think it was good. I don't think it was like going to go win an award or anything, but I think this was a solid 7 out of 10 episode. I think it was pretty good. So yeah. With that, my friends, I'll leave you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. This was a make it or break it for me. I'm still gonna keep playing it by ear, episode by episode. Like this show, I'll be real. It's one thing that just really irks me or bugs me to make me just drop it. But this one wasn't it. This was like very much the episode. Like this, me continuing to watch the show is dependent on how this episode was, and it was pretty good. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you next week. Peace.